Welcome to another Arkham Horror card game scenario review. This time we're doing the first standalone Arkham Knights 2016 expansion, which is Curse of the Rougarou. So these ones are going to be a bit more focused than the last one if you watch the Corset one, because this is just one scenario on its own. It's supposed to be completely standalone and entertaining. It has like a set you can build with some experience when you start, or is it just
it's actually as much as you want, but for every like for the first 9 is free, and then the next 9 I think it is.
You
have to add another weakness.
Otherwise, it costs 1 XP per person to
do it in the middle of a campaign.
So
the standalone is actually quite difficult.
Oh yeah.
Unless you take 1,000,000 weaknesses.
No, I mean
and don't draw them.
The pool.
Yeah. In this one, you go down to New Orleans to fight or find something called the Rougarou, but there might not be a Rougarou, but there is a Rougarou. Halfway through, the Rougarou spawns, which is this motherfucker, and he's he's ferocious. He has 5 hit points per player. In addition, the lead investigator gets the Curse of the Rougarou, which I remember the first time we played, you guys made me the lead investigator, and you guys were just like, you were pigs and shit, and you were like, just you wait, Justin. Which I think is very fun and
it was
cool.
A good time.
It was good.
So in this one, for the theme, how does the theme go of going around New Orleans, swamps and bogs, trying to catch the Rougarou?
I think it's quite thematic. At the start, you just go through bogs and everything's wet and shitty. Yeah. For the first, until the Rougarou spawns, you don't add his cards in the deck. You just have like your bog gators and your swamp leeches.
Yeah, leeches.
You're in danger of being dragged under.
Yeah, and like none of these are particularly oppressive, and they kind of just give the flavor.
It's irritating.
Yeah.
You know, like you're in a bog and it sucks.
Yeah. And everything's awful, and you're pretty sure that these natives are lying. These natives of the bayou are lying to you about there being some sort of wolf man.
Yeah.
Strange.
No
trash.
And then it shifts, and the Rougarou appears, and there's various ways for you to deal with him. You can either fight him in combat.
You can try and kill him, or you can, there's a series of things you can do. You have to, spend 4 clues per investigators as a group. It has to have a trap attached to it. It has to have at least 1 damage per investigator on it. And you have to have either found a Binding Storm or found a Strange Doll.
Yes.
Which is hard, but the reward is quite worth it.
Yes. Which what this does is you can add it to your deck, which is it's a fast, set the base value of your brain and book to 2, so the base value of your fist and foot to 5, and you can as an exhaust it to fight, and it deals +1 damage for this attack. And it also is incredibly fun, in my opinion, to run around New Orleans as he's moving around in an attempt to find all the pieces to tame him.
To try and figure it out.
Yeah.
One thing I do like is how they have the New Orleans and then the Bayou locations, where or I guess not New Orleans necessarily. There's the New Orleans Riverside Wilderness and Unhollowed ones, and
you play without one of them.
Without one of them, and then there's always the Bayou one, which is kind of crappy. A lot of the cards, especially in the first encounter set,
get worse if you're in a bayou.
Only do something or get worse if you're in a bayou. And the other ones are relatively safe, but the Rougarou might be hunting them.
One thing that it works for the mechanics of the game, but is kind of frustrating at the time because it makes it so that you have to plan, which sometimes makes it a bit harder for you to actually progress, is that you need to spend clues to engage the Rougarou. Right?
Yeah, I understand though.
I do, yeah.
But you need to have some reason to be playing a secret or something. You need to have some reason to get clues in this if you intend to just kill it.
Yeah, and it's not nearly as annoying as the Undimensioned and Unseen, where you have to throw paint on the monsters and they're moving around randomly.
I really thought we don't have to just have to be very well educated.
But it's mostly the random movement, and this one can sometimes have cards show up that just move the Rougarou to an opposite side of the city from you, and that's a little bit that was more annoying than it was engaging gameplay.
Yeah, it is quite thematic though. The Rougarou is terrified. You're outsiders. You're not its usual prey. You show up and you're
you're hitting in the face with an axe or stabbing him or whatever.
Stop.
He's like, stop, please.
Similar point for his ability that makes him run away when he takes a certain amount of damage. Right? He's like, oh, these guys are strong.
Yeah.
It turns his fight response into a flight response.
Yeah. That is a very thematic feature on the card.
If you kill him, you get this Lady of Spree asset. Which, I mean, like, it's very strong. It's got good symbols. It tanks a lot of damage. It heals people. My only complaint is that, like, it does take up your ally slot.
And it takes up your ally slot.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're playing green and you're not playing a charisma build, it's unplayable.
Yeah, because you need Leo DeLuca.
Because you need to play Leo DeLuca because he's the best card out of the core set.
Yeah. So what she does is, if you can't read that, is exhaust her and deal her 1 horror, heal 2 damage, or gain 2 resources. Any investigator at Lady Esprit's location may activate this ability. I mean, like, that is good. It is helpful. She is a kind of a tank, but exactly, she costs an ally spot and she costs 4. Right. So for theme of this one, how does this one resonate for you?
That's pretty good. I say it's like a 3 or a 4. The Bayou stuff feels like you're in a shitty Bayou. When the Rougarou shows up, it feels like you're trying to hunt him down. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah, I would give it a 3.5 probably for theme, personally.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think somewhere in between a 3 and a 4 is right.
Wow, we agreed on one, guys.
Good job. There is one I know that I have already a 5 for theme laid out in my mind.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to that later.
It's
Sheesh.
I'm just excited for it. Fun. How fun is this one? I think it's on the higher end of fun, but I agree it's not too fun.
Yeah, I'd say it's a solid 3, maybe 3.5. But
I would probably give it a 3 for fun. Like there's.
Yeah, like it is simple, and again, like you said, there's a couple frustrating points.
But there's a lot of cool things happening, and it feels fun to chase down the Rougarou when plans are going well.
Feels accomplished, or to like be scrambling around the town trying to avoid the Rougarou while you do the other stuff. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You do the mini.
Are we good with a 3 then?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, we did it again. All right, difficulty. How difficult is this one?
This one's reasonably difficult.
Yeah.
I think. Like, it's nowhere near, like, Midnight Masks, if you're trying to do it perfectly, for sure. If you're trying to, like, it depends on what investigators you got. If you're just trying to blow up and you got, like, a Guardian who's actually good at that, it also depends what point in your campaign you play that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'll talk, like, standalone mode. But, like, you can probably just blow them up in a couple attacks.
Because I don't remember the result the first time we played against him. We did this one, but I know it was a lot harder than the second time. Because the second time you and I were actually able to. It was the same time when Bryn was gone.
Yeah. Well, definitely, like, the fewer players you have, the easier he is to kill.
Yeah.
Because when he's got 15 health and he still runs away every time you deal him 3 damage, you have to engage him so many more times, and you have to keep chasing him much longer.
You get a lot more clue tokens.
But when you only have, like, 2 or 1 person trying to kill him, he has hardly any health. You have to fight him, like, twice. 3 times. You got to fight him 3 times, maybe.
Another thing that I like about the theme that we didn't touch on is when he runs around, he leaves clues where he was, which is also kind of a nice little flavor of, oh, we have to follow this giant track mark.
Now you're investigating. Yeah, you're hunting down muddy footprints and stuff, and like, corpses of people, I guess, get killed.
I would probably give this one like a 3 for difficulty, just because it's not.
Again, it depends on where your campaign you play and how many players. I think 2 is the easiest.
Yeah, because then you got one guy who can run around grabbing clues to let the other one chase him and fight him.
Yeah.
Because everything in this one scales off of investigators. Like, just looking at the alternative wing additions, 4 clues per group. 4 clues per investigator as a group. So if it's just like me playing it, my guy has to be, I have to put like 1 damage on him. That's pretty reasonable as 1 person. Find 4 clues. My guy's pretty good at finding clues. I can do that. You have 2 people, you have 1 person who's great at dealing damage, 1 person who's great at finding clues. But as soon as you start getting up to like 3 and 4, like 3 people, like 1 of your people is great at finding clues, but all of a sudden he has to find like 50% more now.
Yeah.
Like your other guy, he could be great at dealing damage, and the damage probably won't. The extra 1 damage probably won't be a problem, but
yeah, I'd probably put this one somewhere between like a 2.5 and a 4, depending on how many investigators you actually have.
That's one of the things that's also hard about doing a numerical rating system. It's different on the number of investigators.
Well, like this one especially, like the rest of them are fairly straightforward.
Like, I think 1 or 2 of the later ones that change, or the other ones that are more difficult or less difficult depending on people.
Yeah, I don't think there's many that
widest ranges.
That shift as drastically as this one will based on how many people you have playing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty comfortable giving this one a 3 then.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just the middle of everything.
I think most people will be playing this as a group of 2 or 3.
Let's also go like this as well. It's 1 difficulty point per player you have playing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Overall,
players, what are you doing?
Stop.
How much of this game did you buy?
Overall, what do you guys think of Curse of the Rougarou?
I quite enjoyed this one. I'd probably give it like a 4 or 4.5. 4.5.
One point I do want to raise against it is there are some rules, things that are they're quite unintuitive. Like how much damage does he wait until, especially as a new player, if this is like one of the first things you had, like we got this immediately after the, almost immediately after the core set. Like his running away mechanic, like it says if you deal X damage, he runs away. Does he not take extra damage if you dealt that much?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
do you have to deal it all at once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
It's a little bit confusing, but...
It could definitely be worded a little clearer.
Yeah, definitely.
I think overall I give this like a 3. Like, it's good, but there's a couple rules, things that are a little unfun, a little bit frustrating potentially. And again, at the end of it, like, it's just... It's not super special either. It's not super Arkham-y.
Yeah.
It's a pretty generic. Oh, there's a werewolf loose.
Yeah.
Though I like the Bayou and New Orleans half more than I like
the Rougarou half. Yeah.
So.
I would probably because Bryn, you were 4, you were 3. I'll just go with 3.5. You know, right in the middle because I agree with both, right? And I think it's fun, but yeah. There are some things, and I think that's kind of just a fair statement of this one. And this one looks...
This one's good, it's just not great.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I feel like this one, I would personally like to play more than the majority that were in the core set, just because...
The one in the core set I really like playing like over and over again. I mean, like the first one for just testing cards, but the second one for like actually playing it.
Yeah. But like this one is... This is when they started because I remember we played the core set and I was like, hey, this was fun. And this one where I was like, all right, that was really cool. And then when we played Carnival, which will be the next print on demand that we review, that one is when I was like, all right, we got a game here. I'm excited to see what these fuckers do with it. So thanks for watching Curse of the Rougarou. Carnival of Horrors should be out soon, followed by Dunwich Legacy and all that.
Around to that.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. There's no set schedule for these. These are just going to come out as we record them. But thanks for watching. Bye.